What's up, transgenders? It's Makiana, and I'm finally back with another video. Now, I know I was supposed to drop a wrestling video like 2 weeks ago, but I lied. My fault. Now let's get into the video. So I'm ranking Blade's discography in this video, and if you don't know who Blade is, he's the Drain Gang CEO. Which is funny because he's technically the worst musician out of the entire group, but he just so happens to be my favorite artist of all time. And before I get into the ranking, I just want everyone to know, I've got every Blade release listed as a 10 out of 10. Like, this man has literally never missed. He's never even came close to missing. Except for the first album I'm going to talk about, which I have rated pretty lowly at a 9 out of 10. So I'm clearly not biased, but other than that, everything here is a 10.
Silver City never sleeps with the 308, yeah. Make the rainbow roll, let the world on hold for a moment.
Okay, so for Blade's worst album, it is good luck, but I honestly think this album is extremely overhated. And obviously it's nothing at all like what he's ever dropped before because it's a dance pop album. Like, this nigga Blade dropped a fucking dance pop album in the middle of a fucking global pandemic, and niggas is like, you know what, I'm not really feeling this. Like, bro, of course you're not feeling it. You haven't left your damn house in 6 months, bro. This album is rather short, and it's pretty much all bangers in my opinion, but my favorite tracks on this one are Rainbow, Sun, and Drama. But there's not much to say about this album, so I just want to move on to the next one.
Let the fear fly. House party nearby, I'm bringing weird guys. I need some wet wipes, there's a clear eyes. Just stop such a red lights, that's our best buy.
And up next, we got Working on Dying. Now, this is the only thing Blade dropped in 2017, and this is the first appearance that we get of Evil Blade. Okay, so this is where Blade leaves behind that atmospheric ass shit and gives us some dark cloud rap bangers. Produced by who else? Working on Dying. And Blade is absolutely just rapping his ass off on here. Songs like Cherry Bracelets, Best Buy, and Gatekeeper are amazing. He sounds like a fucking goblin on this mixtape. It goes fucking crazy, bruh. I just wish it was longer, or he just made another project like this, because Tread Blade is just something special, bro. Now, I hope this isn't too controversial, because I know a lot of drainers have this one a lot higher on their list, but I got this one at number 8, and that's Red Light.
Love the smell of gasoline, bleaching Sharpies. I was on Miami Beach on the dark streets. I wake up with sweaty sheets, sometimes it's deep.
Now, Red Light is definitely a huge stylistic change for Blade, as it isn't as dense or as atmospheric as his previous projects, but it's still definitely cloud rap. But he just borrows a lot more from mainstream alternative R&B on this one, in my opinion. And Blade's personality really shines on this one for like the first time in his career. Instead of the bleak, cold, barren wasteland of inescapable depression that is Ever Since, whereas Red Light takes a somewhat more goofy approach because you've got some extremely just funny, almost distracting lyrics sandwiched in between some downright depressive ones. So this is easily Blade's most accessible release at this point of his career, because it's not just a super hopeless wasteland of depression like Ever Since or even Glue. He switches up his flows a lot more on this album, and he's just a lot more vocally versatile as well. Plus, there's a few bangers on this album as well. 1D, Decay, Obedient, and I'm Goofy. And obviously, you got your sad boy ballads such as Golden Boy Hex, Night Just Do It, and Puppet Master. Him and White Armor are just in their bag on this one. Simple as that, bruh. Now, up next, we've got 333. Blade is just an absolute pillar of happiness on this album.
Wake you up at the ending. It's really never be fine. There's no way my losers in this fight. Everything.
He's got his twink vocals turned up to 100. He's got the warm, colorful, and just beautiful beats on here produced by White Armor. And Blade is just getting better as a lyricist as the years go by. The lyrics here are just full of optimism, self-love, and reflection. This album just makes you feel like you're in a fairy tale. It's just so vulnerable and playful. Like, Blade has no problem opening up on here. He's literally in his Chico Aoba era. I definitely think this is Blade's most mature album. And if what you're looking for is like a soothing, positive experience, this is the album that you need to listen to. And my favorite songs on here would have to be Keys to the City, Mean Girls, Valerie, and Ecstasia. And at number 6 is Spider. So if 333 was a soothing album, then I would have to say Spider is quite the opposite, because Bladee is maniacal as fuck on here. The production on here is quite varied actually. There's like a lot of sounds on here, including digicore, a little bit of drill, EDM, and ambient pop. This album definitely has its most cryptic and surreal lyricism. I low-key don't know what he's talking about half the time, but it makes me feel feminine as fuck, so it makes me quite happy actually. I'm just glad to see that Bladee is making great music for the transgender community. Blade's vocals on this album are quite versatile. You get his super soft and almost mumbly vocals on It's Okay to Not Be Okay. You get the typical Bladee vocals like on Velociraptor and the Icarus freestyle. And then you get his crazy vocals like on Ha Ha and I'm Surely But Slowly Losing Hope. So you're getting a lot of versions of Bladee on here. You're getting Evil Bladee, you're getting Silly Bladee, and you're getting Sad Bladee. Anyways, my favorite songs on here are I'm Surely But Slowly Losing Hope, Ha Ha, and Velociraptor. So now we're getting into the top 5. I know I said that every Bladee album is a 10 out of 10, but we're getting into peak Bladee here. So at number 5, I got The Fool.
Jump in the front, let's ride. Interning of faith, but I just got hired. 360 with God, and I can't get fired. Hop over on call.
Bladee is just having so much fun on this album, and I'm having fun with him, because he's got these Rip Squad beats, so you know it's got some of the best production that you'll ever hear. And he keeps getting better lyrically, while probably not as mature lyrically as 333. He's having fun. Let the man have fun, okay? He's spitting. He's flowing his ass off, man. While yes, if you do listen to the lyrics, he's doing lots of self-reflecting. But bro, do you hear those beats? He's clearly having fun while doing it. Yeah, I think this may also be the most accessible Bladee album. Or if you're a new listener to Bladee, you should definitely check out this one first. Especially if you're only interested in what he's dropped after 2019. And at number 4, we've got Exeter. This is really and truly the first new Bladee album. It came out before 333. It dropped out of nowhere. And I would definitely say that this is his most minimalist work. This album is completely produced by Young Good, and it's got these skeletal yet uplifting and magical sounding beats, such as the one on Imaginary. And this is the first time in his career that you can really and truly say that he's happy. Going with all those lyrics about heartbreak and depression, drugs and materialism. Because on here he's so optimistic and carefree, it's almost as if he's returned to a state of childlike wonder. The production, Blade's lyrics, and his vocals just give off this fairy tale vibe. So it makes this album really unique, because it's his first album that really sounds like this. Which begs the question, did Bladee become gay, or is he just happy? It's obviously a mixture of both. But the problem here is he seems a little too happy for a nigga living in the middle of a fucking global pandemic. It's fine though, because we needed this. The spring and summer of 2020 were depressing as hell. And my favorite songs on here are Love Story, Imaginary, and Merry Go Round. And now at number 3, we've got Ice Dancer. And this is once again another stylistic change for Bladee. And we can start by looking at the production, because for the majority of Blade's career, everything he dropped was produced by White Armor. And on here he says to hell with that.
You are done. Fire.
So he gets Rip Squad to produce this one. So you know that the beats are fun and colorful as fuck. They truly created like a wintry, trappy / cloud rap masterpiece with this one. And with that being said, the lyrics on this album can still be quite depressing. Because there's plenty of those emo white boy songs on here with Waster, Special Place, For Nothing, and Anything. But that's not the main focus of this mixtape. The main focus of this mixtape is covering up all that depression with materialism, swag having, and being a straight up Sigma male, bro. Because this whole mixtape is basically just him going, hey, I'm sad, but I just bought $7,000 worth of overpriced streetwear off Grail to make me feel better. Like, there's literally a skit at the end of OK, which leads into the mall horror freestyle, where he's like buying clothes and his card declines. It's so funny. Anyways, Bladee became more versatile with his flows and his vocal performances. This is a great Bladee album if you just want to hear bangers and hear him talk about how he has swag. And now, finally, at number 2, we've got Glue with 2 E's. This is his debut mixtape, and I must say this is probably the worst mixtape for a new listener to be introduced to Bladee to, because it's so amateurish and lo-fi, plus he's absolutely drenched in auto-tune on dead-ass every song. It can be hard to listen to. But once you get used to this sound, it's one of the most ethereal and transcendent mixtapes ever. This mixtape is just so revolutionary. It brings together that wintry, futuristic, early Shield Gang vibe perfectly. One of the most unique mixtapes of all time is just 9 songs of pure peak cloud rap. Mind you, this came out in 2014, the same year as other cloud rap classics such as Tiger, Unknown Memory, and 700 Degrees. So the fact that Glue still manages to be the most unique, revolutionary, and groundbreaking cloud rap release of the year is mind-boggling to me. This is just an internet classic for those chronically online, musty, not showering niggas that get no hoes. And an album responsible for influencing an entire wave of trash SoundCloud rappers. Thank you, Mr. Benjamin. Without you, I don't know where we would be right now. Okay, I feel like this should have been obvious when you clicked on the video, because Ever Since is Bladee's magnum opus. This is definitely his most dense and layered release. This is probably the most well-produced album I've ever heard. White Armor's just in FL studio going crazy. It's insane how deep into his bag he went on here. Now, to some people, this album can come off as overproduced, but in my opinion, it's absolutely perfection. Now, lyrically, this album tackles themes of depression, self-harm, loneliness, broken relationships, and materialism. But one thing that set this album over the edge is his lyricism. There's so many hard-hitting and quotable one-liners and metaphors. Also, his vocals are just so perfect for this album. Looking at other rappers in the genre, such as Black Cray, who's got that extreme mumbly, slurred and drugged out tone. Then you look at someone such as Lil Peep, who's actually a really good vocalist. He's got quite the powerful, distinct voice. Meanwhile, Bladee has a super monotone voice just crooning over these beats. He just sounds so strained and dead inside. Something about that just gives his album so much charm. This album is just a cold and barren wasteland of inescapable sadness, which is why I love it so much, because it was able to get me through a lot of hard times in my life. Some would say listening to an extremely depressing album while also being extremely depressed is a bad idea, but who cares? This album has such an impact on my life. I would have to say it's my favorite of all time. While Sugar is my favorite song of all time, there's about 5 other songs on here that can compete for being Bladee's best song. I still am just confused on how you can make an album be so perfect, but Bladee did it because he's the greatest ever. It's just an absolute comfort album. I don't even need to be in like the mood for a depressing album, but I can still listen to it because I just love it so much. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Tell me what you think about my ranking in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all that good shit. And yes, I am going to improve my upload schedule. I promise by this time next week I will have another video out. It may be a music video, it may be a wrestling video. We will never know. Anyways, until then, stay drained and stay transgender.